and I actually have a pretty decent chunk. We're gonna ignore how completely pale and tired I look right now. I got up at 7:30. I'm not gonna read for the next hour and 45 minutes straight. Hi. Epic 24-hour readathon fail. Hello everybody and welcome back to a new reading vlog. It is the morning before, but today is a super exciting day because we're going to be participating in Becca's 24-hour Patreon readathon. So what she does is every other month she does a 24-hour readathon for her Patreons, and the only prompt for the weekend is chosen by the Bookathon board. And this weekend we got color. And I actually have a pretty decent chunk of the 24 hours that I can read this Saturday and Sunday, which very, very rarely happens. So I figured, why not see as many books as I can get read in the day? So essentially, I have bought a lot of books recently and they're not on my TBR, and I need to get some read and get this feeling of I just need to read these books kind of out of my system. 24 hours feels like a good time to do it. So I'm actually going to go through a couple of the choices that I have for this weekend. These are not set in stone. I will tell you guys which one I probably will start with, but I just want to see how many of these books I can get read in 24 hours. Like I said, it's still the morning of. It doesn't start until 1 o'clock my time, and it's currently 8:30 in the morning, so I will not be starting these yet. I will tell you when the timer starts. I've got some errands to run today, so I wanted to go ahead and get this intro filmed, but let me show you guys really quick the books that are on the potentials list. So the first two are books that I literally just bought yesterday, but have had my eye on, so I've really been wanting to get to them. Becca loved one. I haven't really heard much about the other, but that is The Daughter of Redwinter by Ed McDonald. This one I think is a little bit urban, has some ghosties. I'm just kind of feeling that vibe right now, so this is a maybe. And then we also have Blood Trials by N.E. Davenport. This one is a sci-fi, brutal, compared kind of to Red Rising that Becca really loved. It looks long, but the audiobook is only like 18 hours, so yeah, it has some pretty decent sized font. She said it read really quickly, so this is definitely a maybe. And then we have one that I have been dying to get to since I read the first book. You guys know Ashes of the Sun. This is the sequel, Blood of the Chosen. This was absolutely on the TBR. And then I realized that when I bookmarked the audiobook on the library, it didn't have a hold. Now it has a 6-week hold. So I don't know if I'll get to this one just simply because I would have to read it with my eyeballs, and in 24 hours, I need to be able to do other things. I need to be able to do laundry. I'm going out of town tomorrow. So anyway, this one may or may not get read, but gosh, I wish I could get to it. And then last but not least, the one that I am least likely to get to is The Book Eaters by Sunny Dean. This is, I've heard kind of like a creepy story about a brother and a sister. One eats books and one eats like souls or something. But I am really interested in this. Again, it's not very long, so maybe if I'm feeling it. I feel like this one would be a stretch because the rest of them kind of have color in the title a little bit. Blood, I feel like blood is a color of red. Again, blood trials. And then obviously this one has a color in it, just Redwinter. But for Book Eaters, I would be using the author's name, Sun, to be like a sunny, bright color. I think that one might be too much of a stretch. Becca has said to stretch the crap out of it, but that one might be a bit much, so we will see what I get to when I get to it. But that is the stack of maybes for the month, or for the day. Like I said, we're not getting to all of these. There's no way, but maybe I can get to at least 2. Do you think 2's doable? I think 2's doable. So anyway, I will check back in with you guys once the readathon has actually started. We will pick what I'm going to start with, and we'll get to reading. Okay, so we're going to ignore how completely pale and tired I look right now, but it is many hours later. The readathon technically has already started. It started at 7 p.m. at Becca's time, but I was out so much later today than I thought I was going to be. I think I'm just going to do it 7 p.m. to 7 p.m. in my time zone, so it will still overlap with her readathon. I'll still be able to do some of the sprints, but I'll actually get a full 24 hours in, so that's what we're going to do. It's 3 minutes until the readathon starts, so I've got to figure out what I'm going to read, And I think I'm gonna start with The Daughter of Red Winter by Ed McDonald. And I don't know a ton about this book. I do know that it involves ghosts. It is set more in a winter time zone, or winter zone, which is interesting to me because it just came out. I don't really understand those books that are set in winter but come out in summer, or are set in summer and come out in winter, but that's neither here nor there. We're gonna read a ghost book because I need a ghost book. So I think this is following our main character, Rain, who is out and has been running from something, and she finds a woman in the snow that's half dead. She chooses to rescue her and brings her back, only to find out that this woman has stolen something from another kingdom, and they will stop at nothing to get it back. And Rain's gift of seeing the dead may be the only way to save the kingdom. Like I said, don't know a whole lot much more than that, but we're gonna get started. I'm trying to get a lot read in this readathon, but having to push back the time where I said before that I was gonna have plenty of time to read this weekend, yeah, that went out the window. So having to push back the time definitely put a little bit of a damper on things because I won't get as much reading time in, but we're gonna do as much as we can. We're not gonna let this stop us, so I'm gonna start reading this and I will check back in once I've got some initial thoughts.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, seen it right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm.
Okay, so it is actually quite a bit later now. It is PJ time. It's actually 10:15 here, so we are going strong, gotten some hours into the readathon. I am not as far as I would like to be. I am only 78 pages in chapter 11 of The Daughter of Red Winter. I'm not sure how I feel about this one so far. I like the story and how all of the elements are playing out. I think that is really interesting. The magic system and the ghostly creepiness, I'm enjoying a lot. The writing style is lending to the atmosphere, the kind of dreamlike, fuzzy atmosphere that I think this book is trying to achieve. So it's doing a good job with that. However, the writing style is also not lending to a very clear story. So in the first 50 pages, you're kind of just dumped in and everything just starts getting thrown at you and nothing is explained. And because of the way that the writing style is, it almost feels like it's jumping all around a little bit and it can be a little hard to follow. So for the beginning of the book, I was quite, not necessarily confused, but I felt very disjointed. I felt like I could not get my bearings on the story. That's getting a little bit better and I am starting to settle into the story more, but I still don't fully understand how everything is working and what the heck is going on with our main character, because she has these powers and she can do these things and open gates that are part of the magic system, but it was my impression that she had no idea what any of this was. She didn't know what she could do. She didn't know the significance of what she could do or why she could do it. So I'm a little bit confused as to how suddenly she's able to do all of these things that she's never done before. I know it's stressful situations, but there is a lot going on in the first 78 pages of this story, and I'm still trying to get my bearings. So I'm going to continue. I'm not sure that this was the best book to start with for the readathon because I'm getting tired and it's requiring more brain power than I anticipated. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's because I'm tired. Maybe everybody else reading this book is like, Mel, what are you talking about? This is really easy to follow. I don't know, but I am going to continue reading. It, like I said, is 10:15. I'm hoping to make it till at least midnight tonight, and I would love to get to page 200, but in an hour and 45 minutes, not sure if that's gonna happen because I'm not gonna read for the next hour and 45 minutes straight. So we'll see. I'll update you guys before I go to bed, but for now, liking it, not loving it, but it has some potential to be really, really good. So we'll see. Okay guys, so I have made it to page 140 of The Daughter of Redwinter, and things are starting to clear up a little bit as far as the magic system and kind of what's going on and why our main character Rain kind of switched gears so fast in the beginning of the book. So I do appreciate some of the answers that we're getting. We are in a completely different part of the world now, and I don't know. I do agree. I looked at some Goodreads reviews to see if it was just me, and there were a lot of people saying that some of the descriptions felt a little bit overwritten and the pacing was off a little bit, and I agree. The beginning was so breakneck that I was engaged, but I was also really confused and never really got that initial connection to anything or understanding. But at the same time, I was really engaged. So I won't say that it's the worst thing. It did keep me from being fully immersed. And then we really slowed down and started to get more world building and information, but at the sake of significant interest. So I am still enjoying it, but I am hoping that things do start to pick up just a little bit. It's not that I need it to be back to breakneck, but just pick up a teensy bit, and hopefully we'll get even more answers. Right now the characters are a little flat for me, but I think that that's in part circumstances, and again, the writing is intended to be very like dream world and almost a little bit detached. I'm pretty sure that's intentional to kind of give you that eerie feel. So I'm not completely hating it, the writing style anyway. I'm intrigued by the story and the magic system, but there is a lot going on that I'm hoping we start to unpack soon. And I'm, like I said, still planning to stay up until midnight. It's only 11:20 now, or get to page 200. Those are my goals for the night, hopefully both. I'm actually going to go ahead and read for a little while in bed. I may listen to the audiobook because I'm starting to get a little bit droopy. But sprints for Becca start tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. my time, I think, and let's be honest, I'm not going to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to read, especially going to bed at midnight, but I am hoping I can be up between 7 and 7:30. So we'll see how successful I am at that in the morning, because bed is going to be really warm and comfortable, but that's my goal. So I will check back in with you guys tomorrow, let you know how much I was able to read tonight before bed, and hopefully we'll be checking in bright early and bushy-tailed. Okay guys, good morning. Guess what? I got up at 7:30. I'm so proud of myself. So I am currently watching Becca's sprints. I am listening whilst doing kind of a rough edit of the vlog to The Daughter of Redwinter. I don't have anything more to say to you guys right now. I don't even know what page I'm on. All I know is it is 9 o'clock in the morning and I have got to get my butt in gear. I want this book finished by 11:30, and so far on 3 times speed, Scrib tells me that I have 2 hours left. So I think I can do that. I just need to get a move on. So I'm not going to talk to you guys for long. I'm going to get off and I'm going to go read, and I will check back in once it's done. I just wanted to say I got up when I planned to, and I'm so proud of myself. Okay guys, so I'm not doing as well with this 24-hour readathon as I was hoping I would. We have 8 hours left. I wanted to get 2 books done, and I still have the chunkier of the 2 blood trials to go, but I have managed to read 333 pages so far because I have finished The Daughter of Redwinter by Ed McDonald. This one, just to give you kind of a brief overview, is about our main character Rain, who can see the dead, and she has run away from home and gotten taken up by this essentially like convent type thing of sisters who are praying and focusing on color. Honestly, that's not that important. But when strangers come looking after this woman that Rain has just recently saved, the convent ends up in ruins, and she gets taken back to Redwinter to learn, or at least what she hopes is to learn, everything that they have to offer. It is very paranormal and it has a very historical tone. I liked that about it a lot. I liked the grittiness to it. I liked the different demons and things like that that were mentioned in the story. I liked the ghost and the way that that was handled, as well as the way that the gates were explained. I just wish we had gotten more. This book was 333 pages long, and while it really dragged in the middle and was way too fast at the beginning and the ends, I felt like if the pacing had been expanded upon a little bit and the book had been a little bit longer, it actually would have worked much better for me. I think I'm going to give this one a 3-star. I would recommend it to those that are looking for that really gritty, slow burn, paranormal type story, I think that this one would be for you, but it just wasn't my ultimate favorite. I was hoping for a little bit more from it, but this is the first in a series, so I'm really, really hoping that later books do kind of give me that expansion that I wanted, and I think this was actually his debut, even though it was literally just published. If I'm not mistaken, this was written before everything else that Ed McDonald has written, and this was just chosen to be published a lot later. So now if he writes a sequel, theoretically he should have a lot more under his belt, and hopefully that the pacing and the world building and everything will be a lot stronger. So I did enjoy this one. I didn't enjoy it as much as I was hoping, but I don't regret having read it. I do plan to continue with the sequels, but that's 333 pages done. So now it is about 30 minutes before I need to leave for David's, and I don't know what we're going to be doing this afternoon, so I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done, but it is an hour down there, so I'm going to listen to the blood trials on my way, and hopefully I can get a pretty decent chunk of it done before 7 p.m. tonight. We may be doing minus hours and extending this reading vlog until I go to bed tonight, just so that hopefully I can get that book finished and not leave you guys on red on my thoughts of blood trials, because I am really excited and I've heard it's super fast paced, so hopefully it'll keep me engaged. But I will check back in with you guys once I have read that, and hopefully we will have finished 2 books by the end of today. We'll see. Okay guys, pardon the crazy dog barking, the weird lighting. I am at David's and he doesn't have very good lighting in here at all. So I have started the blood trials. I have no idea how far I am. I will look at that and it will be up here on the screen. It is currently almost 2:30, so we're running low on readathon time. I don't think I'm going to get this done before the end of the 24 hours, but I'm hoping to at least get it done before bedtime, and that way I can update you guys once before the vlog ends, before I go to bed. But, we have a friend that we are babysitting currently. Let's see if we can see him. Hey. Hi. Are you going to stay with us for like a week? Hello. Hello. You're insane. Can you not be insane? Hello. Anyway, we have that nut job for a little while. Just babysitting, not staying. Shouldn't be staying anyway. But the blood trials. This is about our main character, Kenna, who has recently lost her grandfather, and she thought it was due to a heart attack, but then finds out that he was likely murdered. So she has decided to join this group of what seems to be like Marines, this prestigious military group, and there are trials in order to get in, but these trials are brutal, and if you fail, you die. So far I am enjoying this one. I found it in the adult section, which I was really excited about because I thought that this was young adult, and when I found it in the adult sci-fi, I was very excited. However, it does read young, or at least the main character reads young. It is brutal, don't get me wrong. This is not one of those books that is just a splash of blood here and a fade to black there. Like, it is brutal, and it goes full on with all of those descriptions. But our main character, Kenna, does have that whole, I'm young, invincible, nobody's ever put me in my place, I know everything kind of mentality, which is a little bit annoying. I know why she is that, well, I kind of understand why she is that way, but I don't know, I'm hoping we get a little bit more backstory. I'm hoping that she grows up a little bit once these circumstances and these hardships really start to play in, but I'm at least 15% or so of the way through this. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to keep reading, and hopefully I can get a big chunk done today, if not finish it today, so fingers crossed. But, you know, we have a little bit of a distraction now with the craziness running around. Ollie is not with me. He is at my parents' because I am going tomorrow for a work thing. So, thankfully, we haven't had to do that introduction or anything. We can just let the crazy little dog run around, and hopefully we won't have to introduce him to Ollie because we know how well that goes. But anyway, I'm going to get off of here. I'll talk to you guys later. Okay, guys. Epic 24-hour readathon fail. Hi. I have not read as much today as I was hoping I would. We've just had a lot going on, and I'll be honest, I took an hour nap instead of reading, which put me pretty far behind, at least further behind than I meant to. So I am currently a little over 100 pages into the blood trials. Still feel pretty similar to it. I'm going to keep reading at least until bedtime, so we're just going to negative time this vlog so that I can get as much read before I go to bed as possible, but I don't know that I'm going to be finishing it tonight because I still have like 300 pages of this book to go, and I don't foresee me reading that between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. So I did not read as much as I thought, but I did read several hundred pages this week or today, so I feel like that is at least a little bit of a win. And hopefully you guys got to hear about some new books. So I will, again, check back in later, but I did want to just kind of update you guys at the end of the 24 hours, tell you where I was at officially, and then we're just going to pretend like I started much later and just continue this shindig. Okay, I have failed miserably, but it is the end of the night. I will read a little bit more tonight, but it's not going to be like vlogging. It's going to be in bed kind of reading. So I figured I would go ahead and just give you guys a quick update. We are negative 2 hours and 20 minutes now, but it is what it is. I did manage to get to page 220 of the Blood Trials by N.E. Davenport. I'm actually enjoying this a lot more than I thought I would. I figured in the very beginning it was just reading very YA. It was the typical young adult tropes. The main character thought she was invincible and she knew everything. And she still kind of does, but she's growing on me. There is a little bit, it's a very sci-fi story, but there's also a little bit of like fantasy magic that's kind of creeping its way in that I'm really interested in. It is a lot of trials and it is brutal. Like, you screw up, you die. We've gotten some really explicit Hunger Games type scenes that I've really enjoyed, and I'm into it. I'm engaged. And it's been a while since I've just been reading a book that is just pure entertainment and a ton of fun that I just want to pick up and read. Am I saying that it's the best like sci-fi fantasy blend that I've ever read? No, but it's very entertaining. I'm enjoying it. I do want to continue to pick it up, and I haven't had that feeling in a while. So I'm going to listen to some more of it tonight in bed, and then I will finish it tomorrow just so that you guys know my final thoughts, even though it's not part of the 24 hours and I'm not going to include it in the page count. I will come back and let you guys know what I thought in the end, just so that we're not leaving it unfinished. Yeah, I'm enjoying it, but I'm surprised. I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would, and I will check back in with you guys unofficially for the 24 hours once I have finished the book. Hey guys, so I am in a hotel for the night. It is a work thing, nothing exciting. I just have to cover a little further away than normal, and since it's such a long drive, they give us a hotel room for the night. But I did want to let you guys know that I have finished Blood Trials, and I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I surprisingly really enjoyed this book. I didn't think I was going to. I thought that it was going to be too young adult for me and it just really wasn't going to work, but the main character grew on me. She had to go through some stuff that really kicked her in the teeth and showed her that she was not as invincible as she thought she was. I enjoyed the fact that it was surprisingly more fantasy than I thought it would be. I was expecting a very sci-fi story, but it was really more Hunger Games-esque. We had blood, power, magic, and gods, and politics that I really enjoyed. And then I also liked that there was a little bit of a mystery in this one that I think is going to continue into the next book and have a much bigger scope. So overall, I had a really good time with this book. I enjoyed it a lot, and I would recommend it. So that's going to wrap up this vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know that it was not the ultimate success of a 24-hour reading vlog, but it got the job done, and I managed to get 2 books done in a very short amount of time, so I will take it back to the regular scheduled programming. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!